Once you've entered your budget information into CenterPoint, there are several ways to print the budget or to include it in budget to actual comparisons. Methods discussed in other videos include printing the budget through the budget entry tool and also printing the budget using our standard reports of our income statement and balance sheet. This video is going to cover including the budget in a financial analysis. Financial analysis is a reporting tool that can be found underneath Reporting Tools and Financial Analysis. I'm going to create a new analysis and I'm going to just call it CP Farms. And I'm going to create this analysis for the year of 2025. So I'm just going to include 1 year, but you can include multiple years in an analysis. I'm only going to include one of my companies, but you can include more than one company, and I'm only going to include one of my budgets, but you can include more than one budget. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to draw up the analysis, and I have 3 separate reports on this analysis. I have my flow of funds, my balance sheet, and my income statement. And the columns are formatted the same on all of them. So this is in a monthly format, and so is each one of the other reports. There's a couple of different ways that we can view budget information on financial analysis. One way is to go to Format, choose one of the predefined layouts, whether it be a monthly layout, a quarterly, or an annual. And I'm going to go ahead and just choose quarterly here. And when that comes up, it's going to ask you what kind of data you want. And I could say that I want budget data. And what do you want, book value or market value on the balance sheet? And then if you wanted to filter it for anything like a profit center or any of those other management details, you could choose the filter. If not, you could click OK. And it'll reformat the report. Now it's showing me budget information where before it was showing me actual information. But sometimes you might want to do a actual to budget comparison. So I'm going to actually change these columns back to actual information. So I'm going to go to quarterly format again, and this time I'm going to change it to actual information. Another way to add budget information into CenterPoint, I'm going to change my format for a second, my view, and I'm going to turn off the show cents. And that way my data will fit into the columns a little bit better. So then next what I was going to do is, right now I'm seeing actual columns. And I'm going to add a budget column for each one of those actual columns. And there's a quick way to do that by going to Format and choosing Quick Insert Columns. I can insert for all columns, or if I had selected certain columns, I could say for the current selection. I'm going to add a budget column for each. And the value on my balance sheet is going to still be book value. And I'm going to do this for the year of 2025. I click OK, and it will add a budget column for each one of the actual columns. So that's another way to get that budget column or that budget information into the report. I'm going to go back to, again, that quarterly format. Actually, this time I'm going to do an annual format. And I'm going to just do actual information. So I'm only going to have one column. Another way to add budget information into the report is by going to Format and Columns. In the Columns section, you could add whatever column you want and define the data that's going to be in that column. So I'm going to click New and add a new column. I'm going to put it right next to that actual column. And it is going to be my budget. So I'm going to type budget in that column, or maybe I won't put anything. Actually, I'm just not even going to name the column. I'm going to use the same date range, January through December, and this time I'm going to include budget data rather than actual data. So if I do that and click OK, you'll see that it went ahead and added that budget column for the actual column because I defined it that way. I defined it as a budget column. Now this calculated column doesn't make any sense anymore because the only column it was adding up was this one actual, and now that I have the budget column in there, it doesn't make any sense. But what I might want is to add variance columns when I'm including this in a report. So I'm going to go back to Format and Columns. I'm going to get rid of that calculated column that was the total, and I'm going to add a new one. This one is going to be my variance. And it's going to be a calculated column. It's going to be the kind of calculation it's going to be is a difference. And I'm going to do budget minus actual. So to create that formula, I'm going to first double click on the budget and then double click on the actual. So it creates the formula. Click OK, and then click OK again. And now I have a column that describes my variance. Now I did that just for a year, but you could do it in whatever format. You could do it, one actual and one budget column per quarter, per month, whatever your choice might be. So financial analysis is another tool that will allow you to see budget information in it. And that does give me the budget information for all three of those reports: the flow of funds, the balance sheet, and the income statement.